hello, and welcome. Thank you, Father, for the day. And audience, welcome. Thank you so much for being here. We have the pleasure today of speaking with the powerful, I'm going to call her powerful, Darla Delayne, who in 1985 was selling World Book encyclopedias. I have to tell you, I loved World Book encyclopedias. I still have some in our library. I'm pointing the wrong way downstairs, and it's fun to get them out. Well, a lot has changed since then. And Darla is here to talk to us about she coaches women that identify as powerful women. They know they're powerful. They're ready to take their business to the next stage, their personal life to the next stage. They are, you know, I believe we all are powerful. And I guess who she really relates to or who comes to her are those that are ready to embrace the power.
Yeah.
And that's where we are. I cannot thank you enough for being here, Darla. World Book Encyclopedia, I was a fan from that. And tell us, because so much has changed. And we talked pre-show a little bit about there's a new phase, there's a new shift going on for women. A lot has happened, a lot more needs to happen. However, were we ready with the beautiful growth that has taken place? Tell us, Darla, where women are, what's going on with women in business today?
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm so excited. I love being in any space with you, virtual or otherwise. So thank you so much for that. It's interesting you said a lot has changed because we know it has since 1985. I mean, a lot of your listeners weren't born. And so it's like, it was a long time ago. There are certain things, and this is part of what I still do, that are always the same about business.
Mhm.
And then there are things that are completely different
Mhm.
about business. The foundational parts, the four areas of a business are still the same as they were back when I was first started selling World Book door to door. And learned so much about business through that company. I'm very appreciative of that. Until now, when we are really bombarded with so many different, I'll call them tactics, business tactics. The business structure, the business basic strategy, still the same, always the same. You're going to have your setup, you're going to be setting your business up, saying how you are unique from others, picking your branding, everybody always did that. Then you're going to go get leads, right? The people that resonate with what you're selling. That's your next thing, your marketing, getting it out on the market. Then you're going to take those people and convert them into buyers. And then from that, you're going to deliver what you said you wanted to deliver. That's the same. I learned all about that back in 85. It's been going on since the beginning of time, and they had markets, right? But what's changed is the plethora of tactics that we can use. Back then, I mean, I was going door to door. That was pretty
Mhm.
much, if I had a phone book, I could use that. I had a big book in the back of my car so I could drive around. I'd had to look at addresses. I could plot them out and we could send mail and we could call on a phone. That's about it. If you had money for a radio spot or a TV spot, you could do those kind of things. But now, social media has just opened the door to the world. My clients are from all over the world, and it's such an opportunity, and it can become overwhelming.
Mhm.
I was just telling you before that I always still get loads of powerhouse women that are wanting that skyrocketing, consistent growth without working harder. The powerhouse knows they have to do it that way, and we don't know how to do that because we've been taught to just work hard. So I've been getting those women in, starting in their business, growing their businesses. But I was at an event last week and I've heard this a few times, and then it was obvious. Every group I got into, and the question was, what's your biggest challenge? I had so much growth so fast, I have no time. I'm afraid I'm not going to be able to serve them.
Right.
And I kept hearing that over and over. And I was like, yep. And here's why. For women, especially, we are not raised usually. I mean, you and I are so lucky to have had families that had some sort of business. My mother was in World Book. That's how I got in. That we have some sense of that. But I was a public school teacher. I wasn't taught this, that wasn't what I was taught to do, a psychology major and an educator. And we're not in the circles where they talked about this. We're not in the spaces where they're talking about this. So we know we can do things. That's where the powerhouse comes in. Women know. They just know they can. There feels like so much in their way, but the powerhouse is the one that I don't have to pull her up off the couch, right? Like she's up and doing everything.
Mm.
So for us, we weren't taught all the fundamentals of business, everything that needed to be in place. So we get out there and we do this thing and this thing and this freebie and try that tactic and we do this and oh, we hear reels are good, go do that. And we hear this is good, go do that. And then we do them and we've worked and we've worked and we've done it. And now all of that momentum has built and the floodgates opened. And yay, everything we've been wanting for comes, and we are overwhelmed, we are struggling, we are exhausted, and we are risking taking all that work to build that brand and all that work to get everything set up to serve people. We're risking losing it because there are pieces in our business along the way that were not set up at the beginning. Number one. Number two, we don't know how to manipulate time any other way than the 3D world of hustle, hustle, hustle. You only have 24 hours in a day, 7 days in a week, and there is a different way to do it. And our mindset around what we will allow in and what we can have that we don't feel like we worked hard to deserve, synchronicities, right? Coincidences. How many coincidences did you and I talk about when we talked on the phone? I mean, y'all wouldn't believe it. Like we have
Y'all wouldn't
so
believe it.
many
And I don't
coincidences.
believe in a coincidence.
And that's how the world works. That's because that's how it really works. We've just been ignoring it, right? And we can't do that anymore. We have so much at our fingertips that
Yeah.
the growth can happen, and we've got to be able to maneuver within that. And that's my jam. That's what I'm so excited to be helping women with now. And I want to be helping more and more as much as I can. So I so appreciate being here today and being able to talk about this because I know this is what they're feeling.
Well, it's what's really cool about this. I'm going to start off with the win. Thank goodness that so much has changed for all of us as
Yeah.
women.
Yes.
The growth that has taken place. I think more people, more women than ever are off the couch because they're hearing the stories and they're seeing the wins. And women ultimately, I think there may have been a time that it was all about competition, but I really
Yeah.
believe that the majority of women are all about supporting one another
Yeah.
and
They are.
collaboration, not competition. Um, I just really, I do wish we would have had courses on collaboration and connection, when we were all in school. However, good news is that is
Yes.
coming full circle and we are
We've got
sharing
it
more
now.
with this younger group.
Mhm.
But the fact that so much good has happened and there has been such growth, the three, I heard three things that have come up for women that need to be addressed, and they
Yeah.
need to be addressed at the outset.
Yep.
And this may not be in order. Number one for me, I heard systems.
Yeah.
There have to be systems in place
Yep.
to capture, nurture, gather, and get people set up.
Yes.
And then the other thing that I heard, the second, and again, I think it was the third thing you said, but the mindset.
Hmm.
One of the reasons I believe the majority of women, and especially powerful women, if they are on the couch, it is only because they have so many ideas They don't even, it's like, well, I can't get up because I feel like I need to take care of all these ideas today.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I'm just not going to do any of them.
Yeah.
There's this,
Yeah.
how do
Yeah.
I choose what's one? I mean, I almost feel like in this ADHD group that I relate to and I'm with, an idea was put them all in a bowl and pick it out. If you can't do anything else, just draw one and address that. I thought it was a great idea. And
Yeah.
then the third item was really that, and maybe I combine two, but they get blocked because there's so much to address. Did I combine two of those?
Possibly, but that's okay. They're all combined. You can't really separate these. I love what you said about the why it's happening for women now. And as we both have know very well, there's so much more to do, but yes, it is very different than it was when we were younger. And we have the I'm really stepping into appreciating my wisdom. I'm a grandmother. I just saw my grandbabies this weekend and I'm owning it. And I have a wisdom of 40 years in this, doing this, 64 years on this planet, just there's a lot of wisdom that comes with that. And one of the things is trying it their way, trying it the old way. And I mean, I knew I could do anything. I knew that. So I did everything that everybody told me, and it wasn't happening
Mm,
how I wanted it to happen. It just wasn't working for me in that way. And part of it, let me say this, the majority of it was because it was coming from how men do it well for them, right? So men have great awesome the masculine energy, which we all have,
yeah,
um, is a beautiful energy of systems and structures, and we need that. And so that we're not going to throw the baby out with bathwater here. Like, we need those systems and structures. That is the foundation. And you
yes.
need them in all of the areas of your business. That will hold you. That's the security and the safety and the provision and the protection that masculine energy brings. Our problem is that our feminine energy is inspiration and creativity, and when we open that floodgate, it can be a little overwhelming. There's so much for us to share and so much for us to do. So narrowing that down within systems and structures, that's what gives you this nice space that's safe to move within, so that you're doing, if you've got 100 ideas and you've got this structure, which of those ideas work in this structure? Now you are using both of those together. I also think, as you were talking at the beginning, I wrote down permission, because I think at this point in our world, women have permission to get off
Mm-hmm.
the couch.
Mm-hmm.
We have permission to lay down and take a nap on the couch. We have permission to do what it is that we know is right for our bodies and our soul and our mind and our spirit and our relationships. We get to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I know for myself, that held me back. I didn't feel like I had permission to do that. And part of my mission came from that. When when my ex and I split and he left and we had nothing, I knew that I would have made different decisions along the way had I had money and had more permission and more power over my own life. I would have made different decisions along the way. But that has enabled me to decide what those are for myself now. The other
Yeah.
thing that you said that I love is we are so inspired. Women really, like I said, everybody's got both, but for women, that's our main. It's this inspiration and creativity and the flowiness in which we can move, and that's this visionary piece. And we have these, we are inspired, we move by inspiration, not motivation. Like you were talking about, we move with connection, not comparing. We move with collaboration, not competing. Those are all old fear-based. You better get motivated or else. You better get going or else. You better do. And we don't, we're throwing out the old or else, and we're just going. And as we do it, it feels like a lot, and we don't have a lot that have gone before us to show us the way to do that. So I love that. So the mindset is around this love, abundance, and appreciation skill set, which is inspiration, collaboration, connection, uniqueness, all within this same space of really love and appreciation. That's your business mindset. It's abundant. It is, I can do all of these things, but not all of these things right now. So I like
Mm-hmm.
the bowl. The bowls works. I have a system I use for time management called the intention planning. And in it, we start with the feminine energy of the vision of that day, of that quarter, of that year. You start with that. You then move into that emotion. That's our other powerhouse place. How does that make me feel when I think about this vision I have? And then we take action from there. You take very different actions when you are excited and thrilled and blissed out than you do when you're worried and concerned, right? And
Oh,
so if
yes.
you've got your list of what you want to do, that becomes your goal. I'm going to do these things. What are the most important things? Well, these three today. That's the most important today. I still have my bowl. I don't have to throw it out. It's still here. And
Yeah.
if I get those three done, I can reach in and do another one. If not, I can do some self-care or something else that I want to do. So I love, love, love that. And this old way of doing it is what's blocking women. It is, they're trying to do it like they've seen it done, and it's just not going to work well for us. We can compete with that, but we have a bigger vision than what most have. And ours is more complex. It doesn't just include profit, it has profit, but it includes fulfillment and it includes
Yeah.
service and it includes these other pieces to it. So it is a bigger expansion of a capacity that we can hold in our vision because
Mm-hmm.
we aren't singularly minded. We have a complex way that our mind really works with our heart. And if we let our heart lead first, our brain will just follow and do what we tell it to do. If we let our brain lead, we're right back where we started from, no solution. And it just doesn't work. And we can see how it doesn't work, especially not in this fast moving society we have right now.
So when those women, well, first of all, I love this so much, and I want to throw out one more thing. I
Yes.
probably most of our audience knows this, but I love to remind myself. So this is a talking to myself moment. Systems provide the monetary value if you ever want to sell your business.
Oh, they definitely do.
And
They
so
do.
you have
That is
to have
one
that.
of them. Yes.
You and it's the only way to manage this wonderful inflow.
Oh, you have to have it.
You have to
You
have it.
cannot keep reinventing it with each client. You can't keep doing that. If you get a bunch of clients, that what's going to happen? You're back to exchanging time for money. And you can't scale that way. You can't grow that way. So, and I'm not talking to women who who love their little side hustle they're doing and are just doing it for fun. That's a different ballgame. We're talking about women that have a vision of generational wealth, of lots of things to do in this world, of creativity that needs to be expressed. And in that, those structures and systems are one half of what you have to sell. The other was that initial, unique,
That's
creative idea you had that nobody else had. You put those two together, now you've got money.
That's right. That's right. And what's so wonderful about this, I love we are sitting here, and I'm going to say you are younger than I am. However, we are on the back end of this deal
Oh
as far
yeah.
as this earthly life goes.
We're
You know what I mean?
we're on that
Less
thirdish
runway
chapter.
ahead than behind,
Yeah,
right?
we're not in the second chapter anymore.
That's right. And what I love about that, though, I love it so much, is that it was a choice to say, okay, full force ahead, new chapter. What am I
Yeah.
doing with this chapter? Like you said, this is why this fabulous idea. How does it make us feel? I love that you are speaking to women of all ages.
Oh yes, for sure. For sure.
Because let me tell you, it could be that tomorrow I am called home. However, in the meantime, I'm looking at this at least to 100.
Oh, for
As
sure.
long
I've
as I
got,
can learn and grow and create, I'm
yeah,
going.
yeah. I've put mine at 120.
Oh,
My be here to
120.
120. I mean,
Biblical numbers.
that makes me middle-aged-ish, so I'm good with that.
Okay, I'm with you on that, Darla. So, for this wonderful audience, the other thing I want to point out that Darla has mentioned here is the wisdom
Hmm,
that comes with age. And that's the truth. It is such a complete privilege and gift to be this age,
yeah.
and to be feeling like 120 is a
Yeah. Is a
possibility.
possibility. Hmm.
And it really is. I don't know. I guess, and I personally do not know kiddos, women, young women that that don't appreciate that.
No, for sure. And I have such a passion and love for all the different generational groups. I was one of the few, I'm the youngest boomers, and I was one of the few that welcomed and was so excited to see the millennial hit the scene. I was like, oh, yes, yes, stand up for what you want. Yes. And then this Gen Z group. So I have kids, I have a son, one that's a millennial, one a cusp, and then I have one that's a Gen Z. And now I have little alpha babies that are my grandchildren, and
Yeah.
they're all very different within that. I'm a cusp Gen X boomer kind of a thing. But I love how each generation that's come in has their own thing to offer
Yeah.
to society and help us make these shifts that we've needed to make. But I tell you, there was a time, and you know this, where the wise and wisdom got thrown out the door. And I think it made sense at the time because there was so much change. We thought they couldn't possibly understand, right?
Right. Nobody could
And
understand each other.
some didn't, and that so that's valid. However, what I'm saying when I say this is it's also part of my, I don't know if you or any of your guests do human design. So I'm a projector and I'm a 3-5. So in a 3-line, 5-line means we like to get down and dirty in the mud with a problem. We don't care what anybody else has done before. We're going to get in there, rip it apart ourselves, put it back together, fail, 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 and then a brand new something that we've never heard or never seen comes from it, and we can't wait to share it. So for me, I felt like I was wise when I was a teenager because that's how I did things. But it's so funny. Of course, we have the value of hindsight,
Right.
and there is so much to be said about that. And we also, in this wisdom, know that the one thing that we regret is the thing we didn't do, not the thing we tried and it didn't work. It's
Right.
like, I don't regret any of the things I tried that other people would say didn't work. To me, doing it and trying it was the working of it. It doesn't matter what the outcome. I did that. I said I was going to be an actress in New York and I went and did that. It's like it is these things. The regrets I have, and they're very few because I tend to, you were talking about, we've made a choice to keep going. It kind of almost doesn't feel like a choice. It probably doesn't to you either.
No,
It's
I
like if
mean,
someone told you you had to sit down and not do this, you'd get really frustrated. It
you
is a
can't imagine
decision,
the
though.
number of Reese cups I could eat.
Exactly. It is a decision, though,
It
right?
is a
It feels
decision.
like it's not a choice, but there's still a decision. And sometimes you have to do things that people look at you crazy and they think things about you. And one of the things that's been a
Oh,
real gift to me about this age, I was the one that was always worried about what other people were thinking. I really am getting to where I don't care. And
right.
it feels so freeing. It feels so
Oh my
awesome. It's
gosh.
like, and I feel like that's what comes with wisdom too, is what to care about, what is important, what ends up being important, and what doesn't. And in money is important. And like I said, women that have it make different decisions. The pursuit of money only, not. That's not going to get it. But wealth, love, joy, experiences, fulfillment, creativity, yes. Yes, all the above. And you can have all of that
You really
in what
can.
you're doing.
And what's so cool about this, and I do think of where we are in this ever evolving planet, within this planet, within all each of us individually, is
Mhm.
that I do think, and with all the IT and with we really all have a global reach now. We
Oh yeah,
really do.
amazing.
Our audience, hello to all from all over the
Yes.
world. They're from all over the world. And the speakers and you sharing, we really are realizing how connected we all are.
Yes.
And we are also realizing as women, it is okay to be good at something.
Yeah.
For a long time, you couldn't even accept a compliment.
Oh, I know.
And I thought that compliment was about me, but then I realized, oh my gosh, it's by the grace of God, I have this ability to do something right. So really all I'm saying is thank you, I'm being used. And when I'm doing, I'm aligning myself with him because it's working out. Because on my own, forget about it. Or if I am with if I'm collaborating with a wonderful group of people who are all just, I love your get down there and get dirty and figure out what in the world is wrong here. Let's fix it. I love that. I'm pretty high on the manifester end, so I need you. But it's it's like, okay, I'm going to do all this, and you're like, wait a minute. Anyway, it's so exciting.
It is.
I hope what the audience is hearing is number one, you can do whatever you want, and it is the truth. And it's
You
finally time
can.
to realize there are enough free resources to learn about something you don't know about. There are literally, besides Google, let's talk about AI, which Darla is going to master for me.
Yeah, I said that's my next one. Fix to get down and dirty
I
with.
actually do like AI, and then I still can become very afraid very quickly. But we're in this present moment. The other thing I believe women, and again, I can only speak for myself, is that this great idea, this spectacular idea, does not have to happen tomorrow.
Well, and it's
It's
not,
okay to have a
for
process. My
sure.
God Almighty, there's a process.
Well, and it's the old it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. I used to hate that saying.
Oh, it still annoys everybody,
I know. So,
but it's true.
if you take the big what you want, and this is what I'm talking about visioning, if you take that and you can get in at least a day, the day, if you had this one day and you got to work in your business on this one day, what is it that you want to do today? What is
Okay,
it that
y'all.
you want to do?
Now, listen, audience, this is the question we will start wrapping up with. This is huge. Okay, Darla,
Yes,
ask that question again.
this is your day. You know you've got it. You're awake and breathing and watching and doing your thing. What is most important? You've got this big old list, all the things, your family, your friends, yourself, your home, your stuff, all the things you want to do, all the things in the list, the to-do list. Okay, I'm going to give you one. Number one, go through that list and anything you think you need to do today, have to do today, are supposed to do today, gotta do today, throw it out. Throw it out. There is nothing that you need, have to, gotta, supposed to do today. There's only what you want to do today. So, of what you just threw out, what do you want to do? I always say this like about washing my face at night. I don't like doing it.
Oh my
So I
gosh.
say I need to, but I don't. I want to because if I'm living to 120, I need to stay. I want my face clean. I saw the movie with the stuff that crawls on our eyes. It's like Mary Kay. So Mary Kay, I understand all about that. And so I decided that was when I was like, oh, I want to wash my face. So, of the things you just threw out, which ones do you actually want to do? Put those back in. Now, of this pile, which one would bring you the most joy today? Now, if I do one something that brings me most joy, but I have something due tomorrow to someone, it's not going to give me full joy because I will not have followed through on a commitment, right? So really think about that. What would really make me happy? I got a link hooked up on a program I'm doing where I could give a free trial today. I did all this tech. I've been putting it off and I was like, you know what? It would make me really happy to have that done before my podcast recording with Carroll.
Oh my gosh, and
That would make me so
congratulations.
happy. And I did it. So when you're looking at it today, the rest of it can be done tomorrow. So just today, what is it you really, really want to do? What would give you the most joy in doing, maybe in completing or in starting or in working on? And if you just keep doing that every day and you forget at some point that you're overwhelmed and have a lot, you're going to find all of a sudden you have more time. You're going to
Oh,
find all of a sudden things are going to get done faster. Someone's
oh,
going to volunteer to do something for you. Oh, a new app just came out that does that for you. This is what happens when we let our brain rest from the worry a little bit and you go back to the heart and your joy and your want. What do I want to do today?
yeah, it's wonderful because actually it's generally what we're going to choose to do anyway.
Of course it is.
It's going to
And,
be
and
what
why
we
feel
wanted.
bad about it the whole time
And
anyway?
back to the face thing. Oh my goodness, it's the mascara I don't like taking off. But the thing about it is, I've shifted in almost every area of life. I get to do it. I'll never
Yes,
forget. I saw
I
this
want to do
precious.
this.
That's right. That's right. I get to do
I
this.
mean, why or where did we start being victims of our own actions in our own business?
And the luxuries of life.
It just doesn't even make sense,
I'm
really,
telling
when you
you,
think about it. Saying I need to or have to or I'm supposed to as though someone else is telling you what to do. No one's telling you're a sovereign human being. You are connected to all that is and a sovereign human being. That's you get to come here and make your own decisions and choices
be
and
accountable,
own it.
but own it, be accountable. I started all of this because what I realized was that I was not being accountable in all areas of my life. I was picking and choosing.
Yeah,
And that I said, okay, nope, 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 nope. This is an all in deal.
yeah.
I love this. And I want to keep talking and talking
I
and talking.
know, I know.
And we're going to have another conversation
Yes,
soon. I
we'll do a
hope,
part
the
two.
audience, because I'm hoping, send in the questions. Of course, you will all, to this incredible audience, you will have all the ways to get in touch with Darla and to ask her questions. And listen, she's a generous human being. If you need to reach out, she's going
Please
to
do.
let you know. She's just a wonderful human being. And I'll tell you, there's something about even her offer to help people. She's ready to help you when you're ready to embrace your power.
Absolutely. When you're ready, I'm here.
And that's a beautiful, beautiful sharing. So I just can't wait till our next visit.
Me too.
Remember, you all know that the reason we're doing this is number one, because I love to talk to myself because it helps me process, and I appreciate
Mhm.
you all
That's an
so
awesome
much.
system.
But it's a pretty good system. But truly, you're an incredible child of God. Your story matters and you matter. Send me questions, send them to Darla, reach out. Let's collaborate. Let's make even bigger and better things happen, not just for ourselves individually, but most importantly for one another. Thank you all so much. And Darla, hang on. I want to talk to you after the show.
Okay.
Thank you, Father. Hook 'em.